What's going on YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. Yesterday was International Women's Day, and it's not normally something I talk about. I focus primarily on Call of Duty. Don't worry, we're going to make a connection here. With it being International Women's Day yesterday, Call of Duty released this tweet saying, "We're celebrating the women who run the game because Call of Duty is for #AllOfUs." And they accompanied this tweet with a video showcasing a bunch of the different female operators in the game, as well as a ton of different female content creators. A pretty nice video. But what the focus has been from this video is like the last 2 seconds, where we see 2 female operators holding guns that aren't currently available in Black Ops 6 or Warzone. And these guns have been rumored to be the AMAX and the Kilo, 2 weapons that we've seen previously in Call of Duty, which reinforces this idea I have that Call of Duty is really going to try to pull on the nostalgia strings for Season 3 of Black Ops 6 and Warzone. Not only are they reintroducing Verdansk, they're also going to bring back a bunch of elements and content from prior Call of Duty games to try to get you to invest a little into the game again. Now, of course, for me, I want to see them invest in better servers, invest in a better anti-cheat. That would bring me back, not just rehash content that we've seen before. That reminds us of when Call of Duty was better, when they took themselves seriously, something they've forgotten how to do. But I'm also curious what this means for multiplayer. Does this mean they're going to go back to the well of maps that are in the Black Ops series? Are they going to go to some Modern Warfare maps and bring those into the game? What are they going to do? Because I can almost guarantee that they are going to try to bait this entire community with as much nostalgia as possible. Because as much as we don't want to admit it, nostalgia sells. It's a good tactic. But I don't know if it's the right idea right now for Call of Duty, because it's just not a strong enough foundation to keep people invested for the long term. Nostalgia is going to wear off. If you have a good game with a good foundation, nostalgia can bring players back and the foundation can keep them there. But if the rest of the game is still falling apart at the seams, all of this nostalgic content will just be a band-aid and it won't work for the long term. And that's problematic because they need to focus on the long term here. They'll see short-term returns for sure. Reintroducing Verdansk, bringing back old weapons, probably remastering a ton of maps we've already seen in the Call of Duty franchise. It's going to work for a brief amount of time. And then when that initial shine wears off, people are going to be asking the same questions we've been asking for months, almost years at this point in time. Competent anti-cheat, better servers, better matchmaking. Heck, is the weapon balance going to be there, or is it going to be the same tired, boring meta that we've seen all year long? We need something to change it up. We need the game to feel refreshing, not just recycled. And that's my fear here. Everything that we're seeing so far about Season 3 is focusing on recycled content. And that's not what I want to see from Call of Duty. I want them to try to think outside the box. Go bold. That's why I was so excited for the new Avalon map, which sounds like it's going to get scrapped for Warzone, because it was going to be something different, not the same old nonsense we've seen time and time again. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get it. And maybe what this means is they're going to take a bunch of assets from the Avalon map and release it as multiplayer maps, because there's going to be a bunch of points of interest that they created for that map that now they can just port over into multiplayer. Because like I've said so many times since the release of Black Ops 6, the multiplayer maps are nothing more than just points of interest on a Warzone map. That's why they play so terribly. But I want to move away from criticizing the map design yet again, even though it's a massive issue here in Black Ops 6 and Warzone, because hey, Warzone's not immune to this. Area 99 is a terrible map. I still am very skeptical about attaching an entire season to nostalgia. It worked for Fortnite. I don't know if it's going to work for Call of Duty. I want it to work. Don't get me wrong. I want to say this so people know that I'm not just blindly hating the game. I want this to work out. I want this to be one of the most successful seasons of Call of Duty, because if it is, then we can finally move forward. If Call of Duty can take steps in a positive direction, I will be the first person to commend them for that. Anytime this franchise takes steps forward, I commend them for it, because I want this franchise to be fun again, not just for me personally, but for everybody in this community. Because it doesn't feel like a community right now. It feels extremely divided. It feels like everybody is just focused on themselves, right? Oh, my experience is really good, so you're just a hater. Or my experience sucks, so everything sucks. When in reality, it's kind of in the middle. There's some good, there's some bad, there's some mediocre, and there's a bunch of improvements that need to be made. I don't think it's hard to see that this game could be a lot better. I don't think that's a hard thing to see. And I will continue to fight and use this platform to talk about ways for Call of Duty to improve. Because we all win if Call of Duty gets better. Like, if our experience improves, that's good for everybody. So even if you're having fun now, imagine if the game got better. Imagine how much more fun you'd have then. So that's kind of my side point here. I want to be excited for this. I want to fall in love with the nostalgia bait that they're using. I do, because I am a sucker for nostalgia. I'll be the first person to admit that. But I just don't think I can. I've been duped too many times by Call of Duty's marketing to fall back in love with the idea of nostalgia being able to save this game. Maybe what will get me excited is them actually releasing these patch notes for Season 3 and them having something meaningful on them, instead of just stability fixes or small level anti-cheat changes that we don't actually see any real tangible results from. I want more. And that's not asking for too much. I think right now we're receiving the bare minimum, so it'd be nice to have a little bit more. Especially considering the fact that they are making so much money. They are making so much money. And the best they could do for a season is a bunch of nostalgia bait. You got to do more than that. Now, of course, I could be wrong here, and Season 3 could have a bunch of brand new content we've never seen before in Black Ops 6. And maybe that's going to be the case. I'm all for that, by the way, too. I don't want them to just nostalgia bait. But I know the focus for this season is Verdansk. Clearly, they are bringing weapons back from prior Call of Duty games in an effort to entice you to come back to the game. It's all an effort to get you back. But the question is the rest of the content going to be worth your time? Is it going to be able to retain you? Or is it just going to make you remember that this wasn't worth your time in the first place? There's better things that you can put your storage towards in the gaming industry right now. Maybe Call of Duty doesn't need to monopolize it. So that's it for my video today. I am very curious to know your thoughts on this. Obviously, it's a lot of speculation, but maybe that's the most fun part about this community sometimes, is we can speculate about what's to come instead of what's currently here. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in that comment section down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.